Okay, good morning. We're going to work with you today. In your packet, it's page 57. It's coordinate geometry review. We're going to touch on a lot of different things we did throughout the unit here. So this is what the page is, and as you can see, it doesn't show up very well. So what I did was I wrote the questions out, and I hope this helps a little more. All right, we're going to go through this. I don't want to go through it too fast, but I want to make sure that we get through all of it in a reasonable amount of time. The first question, number one, it says find the midpoint of the segment joining those 2 points. And there are your points. And here I've written out the midpoint formula. So all you're going to do here, you don't even want an equal sign. Sorry about that. Parentheses, and we're going to put in my x coordinates, -4 plus 6 over 2. And then my y coordinates, 2 plus -2 over 2. -4 plus 6 we know is 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. And 2 plus a -2 is 0. 0 divided by anything is going to be 0. And that is our answer to number one. Now, you can always go through and check your answers. If you look at the bottom, you've got the box with all the answers in it. If your answer's not there, chances are you made a mistake somewhere and you want to go back and look at it, okay? 1-0 is actually answer G. So, you go up into your little cryptic words, letter search we'll call it, and all your number ones are G. And you can go through and that'll give you a nice funny little saying at the end of this, all right? I'm going to move on to number 2, and it asks for the length of the segment joining 3, 6 and -2, -6. And again, that's going to be distance formula. So we're just going to substitute our values in. 3 minus -2 squared plus 6 minus -6 squared. And always be careful of those negative signs. I always use the rule, same, change subtraction to addition, and then change your sign. So I have 3 plus 2, which is 5. 5 squared is 25. Again here, same, change. 6 and 6 is 12. 12 squared is 144. The square root of 25 plus 144, that's 169. That comes out to be 13. So your distance is 13. All right, moving on to number 3. They ask for the center of the circle, x plus 6 in parentheses squared plus y minus 8 in parentheses squared equals 144. So your center is, you want the opposite of this number. So if it's a +6, the coordinate is a -6. A -8, your coordinate is a +8. Let's just neaten this up a little. Sometimes I stretch those things out. There you go. -6, 8 for the center of the circle. Moving on to number 4, it asks for the slope of 3y plus 2x minus 6 equals 0. And you're going to see this throughout this video. We're going to be using y equals mx plus b. You're going to have to get your equations into that form. Okay, it's the simplest one to use. In this case, we subtract 2x, and we're also going to add 6. I do that all at once. We get 3y equals, these cancel, -2x plus 6. Last step, divide everything by 3. Y equals -2 over 3x plus 6 divided by 3 is 2. So that gives you a slope of, here's your number right there, -2 over 3. Okay? Now they ask you for the slope of a vertical line and the slope of a horizontal line. Your vertical lines, as you should know, are in the form of x equals. Your horizontal is y equals. Okay? Vertical lines go straight up and down. So their slopes are undefined. There is actually no slope. You're dividing by 0 if you use the formula. A horizontal line, your numerator ends up being 0. So the slope of a horizontal line is 0. Very simple. Vertical is undefined, horizontal is 0. All right, number 7, we want the slope of a line parallel to this one. 2x equals, or check that, 2y equals 3x plus 6. Y equals mx plus b form. y equals 3 over 2x plus 3. And parallel, so the slopes are the same. So a slope is 3 over 2. Okay, moving on to number 8, perpendicular. They've already given us y equals mx plus b form, so our slope is 8. Our perpendicular slope, now if you remember, 8 is always can be written as 8 over 1. Take the reciprocal, 1 over 8. It was positive, so make it negative. And there is your perpendicular slope to that line. Okay, moving on. If the midpoint of AB is M, 3, 5, and A is 1, 4, what are the coordinates of B? Now the way I've talked to my guys about this is we're going to draw a line. It doesn't have to be anything special. And I'm going to put my midpoint there. A is 1, 4, and my midpoint is 3, 5. Now we know whatever we did to get to the midpoint, we're going to repeat to get to B. So for your x coordinate, 1 to 3, we added 2. So if you add 2 again to make 3 the halfway point, your x coordinate is 5. Again, the same thing with y, 4 to 5, we added 1. So we add 1 again, 5 and 1 is 6. 5, 6 is going to be your coordinates for point B. Number 10, I'm going to hold off on right now. If you look, number 10 asks for the perimeter of a shape of a triangle. 15 asks for the area. They're actually the same triangle. I've done that out on graph paper. So I'll do 10 and 15 together at the end. We're going to move on to number 11. Find y if the line through point -5y and -7, 4 has a slope of -3. So you're going to use the slope formula. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 equals slope. Now we have 4 pieces to that formula. Okay, we have y1. I'm going to use x1, y1, and I'll show you why in a minute. And this will be x2 and y2 because I will start with y minus 4 over, I come back, I do -5 minus -7, and that's going to equal my slope, -3. Oops. Okay, now I'm going to clean this up a little. -5, same change. I get y minus 4 over 2 equals -3 over 1. Very simple. We just cross multiply. We get y minus 4. When you multiply that by 1, you get the same thing. -3 times 2 is -6. So let's add 4 to both sides to solve the equation. And that y value is -2. Okay? Now move on a couple more. Number 12, we want the y-intercept of 2y plus 5x minus 8 equals 0. Okay, very simple. Y equals mx plus b form. Subtract 5x from both sides. Add 8 to both sides. 2y equals -5x plus 8. Next step is to divide everything by 2. Y equals -5 over 2 times x plus 4. Here's our y-intercept. B is 4. Okay? 13, another straightforward slope formula. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 is your slope. It does not matter which you start with. I'm going to start here. I'm going to do 5 minus 1 over 4 minus -4. 5 minus 1 is 4. Same change over 8, 1/2, and there's your slope. Okay? Now the midpoint, 14, midpoint of these two, your midpoint formula, x2 plus x1 over 2, y2 plus y1 over 2. Okay, you're basically taking the average of what you have. And here I'm going to have negative 2 plus negative 4 over 2, comma, negative 8 plus negative 5 over 2. Okay, negative 2 and negative 4 is negative 6. Divided by 2 gives me negative 3. Negative 8 and negative 5 is negative 13. Divided by 2, negative 6.5. Okay, and that's 14 there. Now 15 and 10, I'm going to bring in the graph that I did. I went through and I graphed the triangle. Okay, and number 10 asks for the perimeter. Okay, now if you look, you can count one side, 1, 2, 3. That's 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you've got 2 of the sides. If you look at it, you see it's a right triangle. So in order to find the third side, we use the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, we have 3 squared plus 4 squared equals c squared, the hypotenuse, because that's what we're looking for. 9 plus 16 is c squared, that's 25. You take the square root of both sides, c is 5. So your perimeter is you add up 3 plus 4 plus 5, and you get 12. Very simple. Now 15, what we're going to do, same thing. It's the same 3-unit base, 4-unit height, and we know the area of a triangle is 1/2 times your base times height. So 1/2 times 3 times 4 gives you 6 for your area. Okay? And that's the review page here. Feel free if you have any questions. I'm going to throw something out right now to my guys. On page 57, you've got that question and answer. First 3 people to get that into me, 3 bonus points, then 2, then 1. If you're first, you get 3. If you're second, you get 2. If you're third, you get 1. Give me the question and the answer. Okay? Hope everybody's having a good time. Stay safe. Do what you have to do to stay healthy. And I hope to get back in the classroom and see you guys soon. Take care.